Woman, Anna Paulina Luna, who was in the hearing today. She's a member of the House Oversight Committee, which is seeing a lot of action these days. And she's also an Air Force veteran. Congresswoman, great to have you with us today. Were you convinced that these former military and intelligence officials were telling the truth, that the United States government is keeping non-human remains and vehicles under wraps?
You know, Martha, after everything that I've witnessed over the last couple of months looking into this, as well as being denied access to information at Eglin Air Force Base, only to eventually see images for my own self and to draw that conclusion, I do believe that there is other life out there. I also believe that it is possible that the U.S. government is back engineering potentially technology that's not from this world. And as you heard from those witness testimonies, they are coming across, they're witnessing things that we have no way, shape, or form of explaining with our current known laws of physics. And so I think that it's important that from a national security perspective, and then also too from a perspective of what we know about science, that this is treated with the utmost respect, but also too, you know, Graves, when he came forward, and then several other of those witnesses are absolutely right that there is this, I guess, culture that exists to try to discredit people that come forward with information. And I think that that needs to stop as a society if we're going to take this seriously.
So you believe that there are alien beings that the government is aware of, that come from somewhere out in space. You believe that the government is aware that that life exists out there. Is that correct?
I believe that there's other biological entities. I don't know where they come from. And to be quite honest with you, there is a follow-up to this actual hearing in which members of House Armed Services as well as Oversight are going to be requesting a briefing in a skiff that we were, mind you, denied access to prior to this briefing with Grush so that we can get the rest of that information as he divulged this not only in testimony, but in a full-fledged interview with News Nation.
Yeah, I mean, it's stunning. And he also talked about vehicles that are being held somewhere in a government facility. Do you believe that there are alien-like vehicles that are being held under wraps by the government?
I believe that there's advanced technology that we are currently not aware of. And actually, the former aviator, Graves, he actually pointed out that there was a sighting at Vandenberg Air Force Base in which there was Boeing employees present. That was actually cited in a police report, I guess a Doppler. And he had a whistleblower come forward to talk about that. And I encourage everyone to watch that testimony because he describes in detail what this craft looked like. And it's something that it is unfathomable. You
know, I mean, this is the kind of thing that most of us have been hearing about our whole lives. And it has always been relegated to, you know, crazy people. Well, they think they're seeing things up there. But I watch these men at this table, and they don't sound like crazy people. And they're talking about situations. The man on the far right, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, talked about 4 different sets of eyes that witnessed the same thing. And he said that we don't know how to make vehicles that can pause, you know, midair and then reverse course and go back the other way, or come down and hover for a few hours and then head up to who knows where. It's
Correct.
Stunning.
Correct. And I think that one of the aspects to this, though, is that why is there an overclassification that exists? Because from the evidence that we have seen, as you know, that famous Tic Tac video, there's a gimbal video, there's also a couple others, but that's been confirmed by the Pentagon. So why is it that this information is not being fully transparent with the American people? And then my follow-up to that would be, you know, in retrospect and looking at this, the more that people come forward, especially as our technology gets better, the more that we're going to start seeing more of this evidence come forward. And so it's our job as Congress, one, are we in honest threat from a national security perspective with this technology, because every single one of those pilots testified that we don't have the capabilities of fighting this. And so that's my primary concern. But I do think it's important to note that, you know, these people were extensively vetted and looked into. They are credible witnesses. And at one point, Grush, who I believe has the most to lose about this coming from the intelligence community, did file an Inspector General report that we are trying to obtain currently. And he also testified that he was in fear for his life.
Yeah, no, that was a sad moment. I saw that. it takes a lot of courage to come forward, especially when you know that people are going to say that you're crazy to think these things. But the corroboration between these individuals is quite remarkable. I want to ask you quickly about the Devon Archer testimony, which is scheduled for Monday. Do you believe that you will be meeting with him on Monday? Has anything changed in that? And what's the timing?
Nothing has changed. He's going to be coming forward to do a transcription. And to be quite honest with you, I think that the pressure cooker is up with the Biden family and their scheme of money laundering. But, you know, when you heard Speaker McCarthy a few days ago say that, you know, and mention the word impeachment, I do believe that before this 118th Congress is over, that Joe Biden will be impeached based on our evidence.
And do you believe that you will hear from Devon Archer that he, in 24+ instances, witnessed his partner, Hunter Biden, calling up Joe Biden on the phone on speaker and then putting it in the middle of the table with these Ukrainian Burisma officials?
I believe he's going to have to. We have our evidence. He's being brought under, he's going to be held under oath, and if he lies, he'll be held in contempt.
Yeah. Okay. Congresswoman Paulina Luna, thank you very much for joining us today. Always good to have you here.
Thanks.